Thank you for joining us. My name is Tyler Hicks. I'm with SDS2. Today we're going to be talking about SDS2 and Lighting Rail and how those two products work together. We're going to cover the benefits of automated layout technology in the shop for stairs and handrails. And today who we have with us is I have Lori Chasey, I've got Mike Evans, and I've got Steve Chasey with us. So today you kind of see what they do, what they're responsible for. Lori's the marketing coordinator, Mike, director of sales, and Steve's the president of SL Chasey Steel. They will be doing a little bit of a presentation on their own from talking about the Lightning Rail and what that can do for us here later on in the presentation. So again, introductions. Thank you all for joining us. We're going to go over some industry trends, and then we're going to get into the benefits of automated layout technology. Go a little bit deeper on Lightning Rail, talk about our SDS2 and Lightning Rail integration, and then we'll do a little demo. It's pretty easy to get information out of SDS2 to work with Lightning Rail, but we'll just walk you through it in case you haven't done it before. Then we'll touch on questions, take any questions you have, and answer all those so you're off and ready to go. Quickly, a little bit about us, SDS2. Most of you know us. If you don't, we're headquartered in Lincoln, Nebraska. We've been developing software for 39 years. SDS2 Detailing is our flagship product, and we've been doing that since 1981. We are part of the Nemechek group. You may know some of their other brands such as Bluebeam, Risa, Graphisoft, Allplan, Celebri, but we are a group with them, and we're looking with tighter integration with all of our sister companies, and hopefully, we'll be seeing stuff grow as we move along with all of our other brands in Nemechek. So, who are the stakeholders in a steel project? There's a lot of people involved. Make sure everything gets out, make sure everything's good. We've got engineers, we've got project managers, detailers, fabricators, and erectors. And at every point of this position, there's some sort of model involved. There's some sort of information passed by a 2D drawing and 3D model that can benefit the next person down the line. Today, we're going to focus on fabricators. So that's why we have Lightning Rail with us today. We're going to focus on fabricators and what we can do to get that information from our 3D model to the shop quicker, and especially from the shop, but out the door even quicker and more accurately. I was just doing some looking the other day, industry trends, e-commerce. We've all heard it now. E-commerce is driving a robust market warehouse construction. There's a data center going up. There's an Amazon center going up. Everywhere you look, there's something like that, or you're hearing about it. Amazon's reportedly placing 1,000 warehouses, across the U.S. in the next couple of years. So this is, outside of our, normal construction where you have stairs, handrails, all your structural steel. This is booming, and we're going to see here why I think this is going to make a big difference when it comes to incorporating a system like Lightning Rail with SDS2. So you've got your warehouse and rents are rising 5.6 year over year, $6.68 per square foot in the second quarter, which is an all-time high. So supply demand, we're showing that there's not a whole lot of supply. There's a lot of demand. And with more people, doing their online shopping and things like that, JLL is predicting an additional 1 billion square feet by 2025. So it's just the way things are going. We need to store stuff. We need to, through the COVID thing, people are getting away from brick and mortar before that, and this just kind of accelerated it. So now everyone needs some place to store all their goods. Well, what do those centers look like? That looks like a lot of handrail, a lot of mezzanine, a lot of stairs. So with all this coming in and being able to supply to all these big box or these big retailers, these big online presence, we've got to have a quick way to get this stuff out. And it's not just located in one area. If we look at this, the top 10 U.S. markets for warehouse construction, it's all over. It's East Coast, it's Midwest, it's South, it's out on the West Coast. Everyone's seeing a benefit from this. So no matter where you're at as a fabricator, you may be seeing this directly or maybe indirectly, because maybe someone's working on one of these jobs that opens up a lot larger projects that you weren't used to getting into. Maybe you're down at 50 tons or whatever, but now everything's getting gobbled up. Now you can step up to 100 tons. Whatever the case may be, this isn't just a regional, one region is doing good, the other ones are suffering. It looks like it's to be across the board, to be making an impact. This was a great quote I pulled out of an article I read about this, and this really hits home with this presentation. Speed and quality are valued more than a low bid, because builders have to be able to go very fast and get the job done right the first time so the owner can start putting equipment in. I thought that was great. I mean, that's exactly what we're trying to accomplish. It's not always about low bid. It's getting it out as fast as you can, getting it out as accurately as possible, and letting the owner come in and start making money by being able to open up that building, that warehouse, that apartment complex, whatever it may be. So I think that was just a great quote that I found the other day. So to lead into what we're doing here, fabricators are looking for that 3D information for stair and handrail. How do I take advantage of that? So we've had CNC machines, we've had plate burners, we've had, beam lines, we've had all this stuff for years. How do I automate that stair and handrail process as far as I can to really get the advantage of having that 3D model there? So with that, I want to turn this over to Lighting Rail and let them talk a little bit about their product and how they work.
Well, thank you, Tyler. This is Mike Evans. I'm responsible for sales for automated layout technology. And the Lighting Rail is the first machine that is designed specifically for the layout of handrails, stair stringers, ladders, and more. It was invented by a structural and miscellaneous fabricator who had, just like everybody, he was looking for more help, skilled workers that can lay out a handrail. And he got to the point where he just decided he was going to go ahead. He actually went out and looked for it first, and there was nothing really on the market that really gave him everything he was looking for. So he went ahead and he built his first machine. He built it with the intention of speeding up his own production. And then what he found after about a year's time was it really made it a drastic difference. It actually more than doubled his capacity potential. And by doing that, he had the same amount of employees, same floor space, and more than double the throughput. So that's when he really realized how powerful it was. And I've been in machine sales for a long time, and I had sold Steve Chasey, the inventor, quite a few pieces of equipment. And, I actually kind of walked in to sell him something maybe to help with that. And that's kind of how that started. We introduced the first machine. We introduced it at the Baltimore NASBC back in 2018. And for the last 2.5 years, it's been a fun ride. We've been helping fabricators eliminate the manual layout in their shops. So what we did when Steve went about finding the machine, we partnered with Messer Cutting Systems based in Wisconsin. They're a world leader in burn table technology. So we buy the electronics package from Messer, and it is designed specifically to handle the welding that you can do on the table, because you can actually fabricate on the table. It's well built. It's dual driven, so there's motors on both sides of the gantry. Could we have gotten away with having a motor on one side of the gantry? Probably, but we didn't want to do that because we know what it takes being fabricators, or what you're going to put the machine through. It's a precision non-contact inkjet that dries in seconds, so you can print directly on the work table, or you can print on maybe 3/16 plate to feed other workstations. We have customers that feed 20 workstations with a single system. Same thing with stair stringers. You can print directly on the channel, tube, or plate, whatever it is that stringer material is. Here's just a picture. This is actually Steve's shop. This is the very first machine. It's been in production for, coming up on 6 years, I think. And yeah, that's just an example of a simple 2-line handrail, but it'll lay something like that out in 6 or 7 minutes. Here's some typical stringers. It'll lay out a 12-foot stringer in about 2.5 minutes. It'll nest exactly where to cut, where a shelf angle may be, all your carriers, nose points, work points, anything you're looking to see. And it's also used for a lot more. So here's an example. One of our customers in New York City was making a big canopy for the Apple store in Manhattan. And rather than rely on drawing a radius by hand on the floor, they used the machine and went ahead and draw the radius. So it's a very accurate part. And the people that put it up, they did notice. They noticed it was accurately bent to exactly where it needed to be. So yeah, it speeds up your process. We'll lay out a 12-foot offset picket rail in 6 or 7 minutes, and then you just go straight to work. You take a lot of that thinking out, a lot of that skill out, and you can save a lot of time and of course, at the end of the day, a lot of money. We make the machine in two standard sizes. One is 4 foot, one is 8 foot. They're both 30 foot, at least our standard model is 30 foot in length, which gives you 27'6" marking capability. The 4 foot is great for working on the table ergonomically to both sides and for those shops that don't have lots of room. And the 8 foot opens up a lot more options when it comes to, we have customers laying out fancy gates. We have customers laying really anything, truss work, roof frames. And the 8 foot just gives you a little bit more flexibility to do that. And this is just a few comments that some of our customers have made over the years. Actually, Stephen Capone Iron Corp, that's one of my favorite stories. Is I actually took him to lunch during that 58-minute time frame there where when we came back, he ordered a second one. So we laid out 26 stringers while we were having lunch. That's one of my favorites. And then when it comes down to what SDS2 has provided is selling equipment over the years. One of the, sometimes the most disappointing thing that you see in a customer's face is they weren't prepared for the work that it may put on an office. So you buy yourself, like you had mentioned, Tyler, with drill lines, you know, fancy robots, whatever it may be. They get all excited, they make a purchase, they get it there, but they're not prepared for the office side of things. And for us, for the Lightning Rail, SDS, you guys have made it very easy. A customer of ours, Larry Krapansky, he's New Jersey Iron. He was one of the first ones to utilize the export. And it actually helped us get the sale because one of his biggest concerns was he didn't want to put more. His brother does most of the detailing in the office. He didn't want to put more on his brother. So this actually really helped us get that going. And I spoke to him last week. He says, machine's running great and the integration's running great. So that's a really good example of how important it is to be ready, not just the machines are great, but be ready in the office too. We don't want to put any extra work on the office.
Gotcha. Yeah, thanks, Mike. That was great. I know Mark and Larry out there. I've been to their office and seen their shop, and yeah, it was nice to see your guys' machine in there when I was out there and hear the stories about how well it's working for them. So right now, I guess I'm going to get into a little bit of the demo to show you how we do this in SDS2.
So we have in our shop, we have 3 Lightning Rail systems machines. It's been a tremendous benefit for us. We're able to produce with 2 of the machines. They're 8 foot wide and one machine's 4 foot wide. The 2 8 foot wide machines, we put 2 fabricators on each machine. Those 2 fabricators are doing the amount of work that it would take one guy in a week. They're doing it in a day. So it's a tremendous amount of extra material we're putting out, extra revenue being brought in. Keeping customers happy, fabricating stairs and shipping railings with them at the same time. It's been a huge benefit for us to have the 3 machines. One machine alone is a huge benefit, but having the 3 has been tremendous. Like I said, you can put 2 fabricators on one machine, lay out 4 or 5 railings in half an hour, and then those 2 fabricators will fabricate those railings in 2 hours. Get them off the table, another welder will weld them up, go to grind. In the meantime, you're cleaning off that table, laying out another 4 or 5 railings. Those 2 fitters fabricate those next 4 or 5 railings, get them off the table, and continue on. You put out, like I said, a tremendous amount of railing, a tremendous amount of footage with the same amount of people, and it's been a huge benefit.
Thank you. Yeah, that's great to hear. Some real facts and numbers behind how well everything is working.
I was going to say, Steve, sometimes I get caught up, of course, in the actual savings of the layout labor and how fast that we can fabricate with the machine or how fast our customers can. But sometimes you tell me about the indirect savings that I don't always remember to talk about, whether that's in the field or anything along those lines. And you have any comments on that?
Right. So once you start fabricating on on a system that allows you to fabricate directly from a drawing, meaning the layout of a drawing, the layout of the image on the table. The railings are 100% correct as long as they're drawn correctly into scale. With that said, when you get your returns on the top of your handrail or at the bottom of your handrail when you're doing a switchback type stair on a multi-story building, your connections are going to be correct as long as the fabricator fabricates them correct. But the layout is going to be correct. When you ship the railings to the site, your returns at the top of your railing will tie in correctly. So you eliminate a huge amount of labor in the field when you're installing the railings. Also, just the layout itself of the railing and the fabrication of the railing will be correct. So you're going to save a lot of time, you know, a lot of repair work, fixes. So you save on that end, you save on the installation as much as you do on the fabrication.
Great, thank you. Lori, do you have anything you want to add right now?
Yeah, I would just probably like to talk about the exporting the software or getting that DXF file cleaned up to be able to give it to the operator in the shop, whether it be you could give it to them on a flash drive, you could have a mapped drive on your server. The detailer finishes his work, he uploads it, informs the controller, the operator in the shop, hey, your drawing's ready to go, or however your operation works. They go right to that share folder and they're running it within 10 seconds. So there's really no hiccup with that. I've worked with a lot of customers, helping them kind of streamline how they get that file to the machine, because there is a little bit of work you may have to do, whether it's just eliminating annotations or hidden lines or dimensions that the machine doesn't need. All you really need to send to the machine is the outline of a railing or the outline of a stringer with your carriers, your carrier angle or your carrier bar. So everything else is just, it's not needed. All you'll do is you'll waste time and ink. It's not a problem. It can print, but it's really not needed. So that's what was great with you guys over at SDS2 is you helped us out with the quick export where you're taking our image in the 2D and using the export. It does all that elimination for us. So you saved the detailers quite a bit amount of time by working with us and adding that feature in for us. So now when using SDS2, you're exporting it right out of SDS2. There's no time needed to clean up, remove annotations, hidden lines, anything like that, like you would have to if you were drawing in, say, AutoCAD or perhaps even Tekla a little bit. But they all work pretty well. It's not a lot of work that has to go into it, but SDS2 definitely has streamlined it for us to promote to the customers.
Yeah, and we actually have one of your guys' jobs here that I'm looking at. I've been kind of moving in and out of in the background here.
Yeah.
And just to kind of walk through what Lori was talking about there, if you need to provide files to a Lightning Rail machine, it is very simple. Just from the main menu, and this goes back to some of our older versions had this capability, and especially our newer 2020 versions all have it. But it's just found if you go to drawing conversion, you'll see I have this little checkbox right here for Lightning Rail compatible. And then up here, I can select DXF.
Mm-hmm.
I hit export, and I can go through and I can choose whatever piece marks I want. You can do multiples. Again, those are columns I wouldn't want to do that. But if I get into some stairs, some miscellaneous, let me just find us. Let's just grab those. I'm going to send it to my desktop. All right, so it's got those there. If I go ahead and open it up, there you go. So you can see from the detail, this was a detailed piece. The piece has to be detailed in SDS2, but it strips off all the dimensions. It strips off everything just to give that outline for the Lightning Rail machine. So again, this file can be sent out.
It also expands it too, which is a feature that has to happen. So it automatically takes care of that, so there's no scaling issue.
thanks for me. I totally forgot about that. Yeah, it will automatically unshorten it for you, so you're good to go. There's no extra steps there when getting that information out to Lightning Rail. Well, that kind of wraps up with what we wanted to show you guys today. We do have some time to take some questions. We got everyone still here with us, so if you have a question on SDS2, the export, on Lightning Rail, we got a lot of knowledge up here that can answer any questions you might have. So feel free to type them in the chat area, and we'll take a stab at answering everything you guys got. Thank you. While we're waiting for some questions to come in, why don't we go ahead, and we've got a video of actually the machine in progress. Laura, is there any way we can go ahead and we can get that video going so everyone can take a look at it?
Speed, accuracy, higher profit margins. Introducing the Lightning Rail, the first fully automated CNC marking machine created specifically for the layout of commercial handrails. From picket railings, stair stringers, ladders, and more, the Lightning Rail provides a layout in any configuration by transforming your designs to a printed layout on a rigid steel frame table. The Lightning Rail drastically reduces the time it takes to lay out a handrail. In just minutes, the layout is transferred to the fabrication table, ready for materials. Forget about the countless hours spent with tape measures, squares, and soapstone. Production time is cut by more than 50%. Fabricators load their drawing to the controller and just press print. They can then start gathering their materials for the project while the layout is happening. Manual layouts can lead to mistakes, but with the Lightning Rail, layouts are made with the highest level of accuracy, virtually assuring the correct layout every time. As an example, a single handrail project using a traditional manual layout could take more than 4 hours to produce. With the Lightning Rail, that production time could be just over 2 hours. A more accurate product, produced in less than half the time, multiplied over hundreds of handrails, adds up to a significant increase in your profits. The Lightning Rail's straightforward interface is intuitive to operate and works with any DXF file. Its compact design can fit easily into your existing fabrication environment. Its unique functionality can also be used on complex designs and to lay out many other items. Layouts wash off with a simple, odorless, biodegradable solution. For the fabricator looking to maximize their production time and, more importantly, profits, the Lightning Rail is a smart decision.
Perfect, thank you. And yeah, just to get back to some of the questions here, we're all here, like I said, and it looks like we've got, let's see, where does the checking take place, in the model or on the detail sheets? Guys, what's in your experience, what are most people doing when it comes down to checking that before it goes to the Lightning Rail machine?
Well, I believe it will really need to be checked by the detailer. As long as it's drawn to scale, it's going to print exactly like it's shown in your 2D drawing.
All right, yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. It's like, you know, as long as, you know, it's in the model, that detail is just a capture of the model there. Exactly. So, you know, you could technically, you could check it either place, but the deliverable is that DXF file from the detail. So maybe you'd want to look there to make sure everything's the way you want it.
Correct. Yeah.
I got some questions about pricing. I don't know if you guys want to handle that here, or I can get you the gentleman's name that has asked. Yeah, I'll leave that up to you guys.
Yeah, we could do that directly with anyone who's interested.
Perfect, perfect. And another one, a link for the video. Yeah, we can, all this information, you'll see if is right on Automated Layout Technologies website. If you just go to their website right there, that's where that video is at. We can provide links as well. We can get some emails out so you can pass that along to other people that might be interested. So yes, we can definitely do that. Let's see, any other things that you guys can think of that we didn't touch on in the webinar so far? Perfect. Well, looks like questions are kind of slowing down. I appreciate your guys' time. Lori, Mike, Steve, thank you for being a part of this and taking time out of your day. Everyone that tuned in to watch, thank you. Again, you can get a hold of us through email, give us a call, check out our websites, and look forward to the next time we can all get together and share some more information with everybody. Thanks a lot. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.